Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Kris Avalon coming at you live in color up in LA. I'm just so excited because the moment has finally arrived. Madonna has released her 14th studio album entitled Madam X, where there's just been a lot that's been to say about this record. And before I even get into my full-fledged track-by-track play review, because we're going to play some of the songs, I'm going to give my opinion, because I felt like this is the only way I could do it. I literally had to sit with this album for a moment and listen to it numerous times before I could come to a conclusion, because I honestly did not know what to make of it upon first listen. And I feel like a lot of times when people do first listen or first reaction videos on albums or a single, whatever, you're not really going to be able to formulate a real opinion about something. So you have to listen to a song a couple of times to go through different transitions of what you may come out of it, because you're like, oh, this song sucks. And then you come and listen upon it later on, like, you know what? The song wasn't as bad as I thought in the beginning. So without further ado, we're going to play each songs. We're going to do the deluxe edition, because that's the only way, in my opinion, you should do it. I don't like standard albums. If you're going to do a deluxe and give me extra songs, my greedy ass is definitely going to be on it. So without further ado, let's get right into Madam X. Let's join in. Okay, so we already know this song. This was the first single that Madonna actually released from her album, Madam X. And while in the beginning, I know a lot of people are like, what the hell is this? This is not up-tempo. It's not that. It's just a completely different song, and she's working with Maluma. And the song definitely grew on me, because in the beginning, when I did my first account review of it, I was like, oh, yeah, it's great, so. But at the time, I was really unsure about how I felt about the track. And to me, it's grown on me. I like it. I like it way more. I'm trying to get to the chorus, and that's my favorite part. Hold on. Get to it. This part. My favorite part. I love that part. I always say 1, 2, cho, cha, cha, because, you know, I like to just incorporate pussy into everything. That's just me. Okay, so we already know Medellin. Let's get into Dark Ballet, which is the second cut from the record. So let's play that. Life, but I'm not concerned. It's a beautiful dream, but a dream is earned. I can dress like a boy, I can dress like a girl. Oh, yeah. I actually like the song because, well, actually I like the video more than I like the song, because they had Mickey Blanco in there. And if anybody who don't know who Mickey Blanco is a queer rapper and I've pretty much always liked him, and performance artist. I've always liked his music. So to see that Madonna incorporated Mickey Blanco in the video as a queer Joan of Arc, to me, I thought that was amazing. But then this, let's see if this is the part. This part, when she goes into the whole nutcracker situation and talking about they are so naive, and it's like, you know what? When she does the part, doesn't that remind you of that I don't know if y'all seen that commercial with the kid was like, and they puff and they puff and they blow the whole house down. That's what that reminded me of when she was doing that for some reason. But yeah, this part is so weird. And then it goes into this whole vocoder auto-tune, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned thing. I'm like, what is happening? It's such a weird part of the song, but this whole album is just like a clusterfuck of just weirdness. It's bizarre. It's just like I said, I had to listen to this album a couple of times. Like, what is happening? Where am I? Am I in a Twilight Zone? So, it was just it's Dark Ballet. Listening to it, like I listened to the whole album in headphones, it gives me an entirely different perspective of the record. So, okay, so now that we did Dark Ballet, let's get into God Control. Now, vocally, this reminds me a lot of how she sang on what's a Crave? How she sing on a Crave, her like she sounds like she's singing like this, like her jaw's been wired shut, and she's trying to sing that way. So maybe like the way she was trying to experiment and come forward is sort of like someone who doesn't have control over who they are, and they're trying to fight their way through being ostracized versus becoming like this big wallflower. It's like when they said we want God control, which I think is we want gun control. I really think that's what that is. So I do love, my favorite part of this song, this part, the chorus. It's very quiet, the choir. It's like, we must have control. And it's like, yes, it's sort of like this album is all about, you know what? Stop sitting on your hands and your ass and just get up and just basically fight for what you believe in. We as human beings have that right. We have that ability. And so, I definitely love this song. But then one thing I didn't like is that it started out with this, like, it felt like it was going somewhere. And then we kind of go into this whole, like, it almost feels like a 70s or late 70s post-disco vibe, which I didn't like that turn of it. I liked where they were going in the beginning when it was just like really drab and it was sad, and then just, but I guess it was like the darkness trying to come into the light. I see where you was going with it, Gert, but to me, I didn't particularly care for that song. But A for effort. She was trying something different. She was willing to experiment, where a lot of y'all faves are not doing right now. Okay, so now we've done God Control. Let's go into Future. Give me a second. So now we already know this song. She performed this song in Eurovision. It's like one of those cool, breezy summer tracks. I like it. It's very much a song, you know, she collaborated doing with Diplo. So, yeah. Future is cute. Quavo, the performance she did at Eurovision, not so much, but I do like the song. And to me, when I look at these Migos members and a lot of these young rappers coming up, y'all really need to work on your stage presence and how y'all work a crowd and how y'all work an audience and how y'all work a stage and all that good stuff. Okay, so now that we've already heard Future, let's go into Batuka. This song I particularly like because I love the chanting. It's like, you know, you get these village, it feels like you get these village women that are chanting. And then what I also love is like when you hear in the background the stomping and the clapping. It's very much, what was I going to say? Because I had the thing, what was called, like, you know, like when the Brazilian women, like, it was in the ballroom dancers. So it's like they're stomping their feet and all the other stuff. So her creating a beat around, you know, these women that are like stomping and doing all of the stuff, which is sort of like, well, it is not a sort of, it is like the Brazilian style of dancing and incorporating that into the musicianship and seeing that, like, if anything, just this is the only good part about the movie though, how they incorporated a fight sequence within that whole dance thing, or you know, from Mission Impossible 2. There's like a really good ballroom stomping dance sequence that's in that. That kind of reminded me of this when I was hearing this. Now this is another weird song that was like, okay. A twerk to it. Just stank with it. It's like you can crump and you can twerk. You can do both. You can, was it a quirk? A quirk. We're trying to come up with a word for it. But yeah, it's weird. It's another bizarre song. I like it. So I like the fact that there's these Brazilian, these African features. So there's like so many different sounds. You know, she had four kids from Africa, Malawi. So incorporating all those different sounds and how just the little things, how cultured this album is and how global and how universal it is. Because at first when I heard it, I'm like, okay, she's trying too hard. But then listening to it, I just feel like, yeah, Madonna definitely did something that a lot of artists aren't doing, and she's taking huge risks with this record. Like, she's just coming up with so many different sounds and so many different vibes and stuff that most people aren't doing. And yeah, the whole reggaeton explosion is coming back, and we have so many different Latin flourishes in here, but there's so much more. I know, like, people complain when they heard Medellin, that's not particularly Colombian sounds. Like, Madonna's never, or if you're an artist, you're not one to just be like, oh, well, I'm just going to do one specific type of sound to represent one specific song, or whatever the case is. If I'm feeling a Puerto Rican vibe or a Dominican vibe or an African vibe or West Indian vibe, island vibe, and I want to mismatch and incorporate all those things in one big gumbo and make it a single, I'm going to do that because I like playing around with different ideas. Like, one thing will start out one way and it'll manifest into something else, and that's what artistry is. And I think a lot of times people miss the point with that. Okay, so let's get into Killers Who Are Parting, which is the song that I heard but they said from the video that there was supposed to be drag queens in it, like Monet Exchange and all of them. So this is the actual song, but we haven't seen any visual for it yet. So let's play that. That's the alleged rumor. If Africa is shut down, I feel like, okay, this is the song where they said, like, it felt a little cliche that she said, I would be gay if the gays were burned. And then, you know, a whole bunch of other things. Like, she was trying to take on the embodiment of these, you know, of different characters of people who are considered disenfranchised. If you're Muslim, if you're a woman, if you're gay, if you're black, if you're these things. And she's playing this persona of someone who's going to take on all those personas. Or she's a person who's going to take on those personas. So let's play the song. I would say, like, I actually like the somberness of the song, like the guitar playing and how it's. I just like the, like, you literally, it's like you just fill it with your thumbs, like, just hitting those parts. Like, I just loved, I don't know, for some reason, like, when I was listening to this song, I can imagine, like, how this would come across in a Madonna tour. Like, how she would basically, I could just be there singing and I'd have, like, dancers doing, like, this sexy little dance or whatever with each other, be it man on man or woman on man or whatever the case is. I could just see, like, this whole song just becoming, like, one big cool choreographed number. Selvagem, caminho, solitário, I don't know, that part always gonna be like very Rihanna. Because you know Rihanna like doing her and oohs and ah. Okay, let me stop. This is also, I believe, the first song that we hear Madonna singing in Portuguese, and that does happen numerous times throughout the album. She sings in Portuguese a few more times. Okay, so now let's get to, now that we've heard Killers Who Are Partying, I'm looking forward to seeing that video, by the way. Let's get into another single that she released from the album that we saw the video of, Crave, with Sway Lee. Love the video, by the way, for the song.
I'm tired of being far away from home, far from what can harm, far from where it's safe. Hope it's not too late. Rush, rush, rush on you. Love, love, love on you. Love you like a fool. Put my trust in you. Cause you're the one I crave. And my cravings get dangerous. The feelings never fade. I don't think we should play with this. Say, come, get me straight. I don't think we should wait for this. Cause you're the one I crave. And my cravings get dangerous.
This is what I call her, like, the queen of trap music, because it was like, I just like how sexy and laid back and just, it's like a song you want to groove to driving down the street. I just love this song, and the fact, and it's so melodic. Like, I love a melody, and quite as kept, this album is not something that's melodic. There's songs in there that have potential to be singles, but this is not a singles record. This is a full concept of just a hodgepodge of weirdness and creativity and something that hasn't been done in a while. Like, you don't see a lot of artists doing this now. People are just dropping singles and hoping that they stick, or they're putting out EPs with like 5 songs on it, and they're trying to split albums up into 3 consecutive EPs that they're releasing like within a year. So I applaud Madonna for taking this approach, like taking a huge risk when she could have easily played the game, which in my opinion is what she's done since Confessions. Like, Confessions with me was like the last full cohesive record that she released, where from beginning to end it just had an ebb and a flow, and so many great songs that were on there, and it was experimenting and all this stuff. When she did MDNA, it was like she was jumping on the EDM bandwagon, and the EDM that she was using was like that horrible ass millennial shit that they listen to, like something you'd see on Jersey Shore, that bullshit that they bop their heads or they bang their heads or they do a fist bump to. Then to me, MDNA, I think, did we just talk about that? What was it? Hard Candy felt like she jumped on the whole Pharrell and Timbaland bandwagon years too late. It just felt like songs that were basically left over from Nelly Furtado's Loose Sessions. I like the last record, Rebel Heart, but Rebel Heart got hurt by an early leak, and to me, there were songs on there, and then there were songs that were just like, okay, they should have just been, these shouldn't have been included on the album. It just felt like it was all over the place and lacked cohesion. So this is the first album that I feel like, okay, it's something that she took a huge risk, and she did something completely different outside of the box. And I think we should applaud when artists are willing to take huge risks. And I don't think anybody, if you're not Madonna, you're not going to be able to do that. Like, I can't see someone like an Ariana Grande taking that kind of a risk this point in her career. Yes, she's dropped about 6-7 albums, but she's now, I feel like, getting her bearings as a pop star and finally getting that recognition as a mainstream act. So you got to be well seasoned to be able to take these type of risks, or independent and releasing this shit by yourself. So now let's go into Cray Cray, which is also called Crazy. Love the use of the accordion. The accordion is not an instrument that is used often enough in music. I think the last time it's gotten some love was when Steve Urkel used it back in the days of Family Matters. Now the thing I love particularly about this song, if I can fast forward to it, is the chorus and how the vocals blend in that way. This part of it.
You must think I'm crazy. Você me põe tão louca. Você pensa que eu sou louca. And I won't let you drive me crazy. I won't let you drive me crazy. Você não vai me põe tão louca. Você não vai me põe tão louca.
Great song. Now let's get to Come Alive. Another bizarre track.
I'm in the sky where I ought to be at. I've been watching you. Rocket ship, take Come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive. Dreams real, it's alive. Come alive, come on. I can react how you thought I'd react. I won't live before you.
What I also love is like the minimal trumpets, and also they have that big choir finish. You can get to this part, just love it. Give me like a prayer vibe. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the one where she had the children's choir that came in and sang that part. Because there was something I saw on Instagram where a woman was like, well, my son actually sang in the choir with Madonna, and it was a top secret project, didn't say what it was. Now I think we know what it is. It was Come Alive, which is a great song. That's why I was like, you really have to sit with this album and like listen and take it for what it is. I know like some people aren't ready for it. It's just, you really have to challenge your brain into going against what the standard vibe of the music business has become and the single format and how music is laid out for us now. So this album is like challenging not only on the subject matter, but the way we have been subconsciously forced to consume music now, if that makes sense. Let's get into Extreme Accident, a terrible, horrible accident.
I went to the far right.
Now we've heard this song being used in clips online when Madonna was teasing the album.
To the far left. That hurt me most. Then I went.
I do like the lyrics in here. So this is the part that gets me. I have to go back.
Guess I'm lost.
I guess I'm lost.
I had to pay the cost. The thing that hurt me most was that I wasn't lost.
So it's like, when you really think about it and you listen to these lyrics, it's just like, it's so deep. Particularly the line where she says, I guess I'm lost, I had to pay the cost. The thing that hurt me most was that I wasn't lost. So it's just sort of like, just listening to that and then hearing her saying like, it's basically talking about herself. It's like, I came from the Midwest, then I went to the Far East to try to discover my own identity. I guess I'm lost, I paid the handsome cost. The thing that hurt the most was that I wasn't lost. So it's the thing that she thought that she was lost in this world, but then it's like she wasn't lost the whole time. So just paying the price of what it is that you want to achieve and do with in life, and try not to lose yourself in that identity of who you are. So to me, it was like such deep lyrics, like amazing. Okay, let's get to my favorite song off this album. I just love this song. I can't tell you how many times I listened to it. Faz Gostoso. I love this freaking song. Let's play it right now. With Anitta, who is another amazing Brazilian pop singer. I listen to her music, love her music.
Come to me.
I love this song.
How you move your body. I said, come, do it good. You know how I like to party. Down loca, swaboca.
I was like, we're really getting into that whole Brazilian vibe. The Portuguese singing again. Faz Gostoso needs to be the next single. Please, Madonna, release it as the next single. I just love this song. It just like makes you want to speak in a whole nother tongue and shit. It's like amazing. I just love the blending of her vocals along with Anita's vocals. And the next chorus, the next verse was about to come out was going to be Anita. Definitely one of my standout tracks off the album. Love, 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 love it. Need to see a video for this. Need to see her and Anita in action, just giving me full on choreography, just sexiness. I want to see it. I definitely really am hoping that she performs this on the tour, which I have a feeling she will be, because they did say that it's going to be, what is it, like 70-30 of hits versus, well, there's going to be more of Madam X is going to be on the tour more than the classics, which she's always done in the past. I don't know why everybody's surprised by this. But yeah, she's going to be promoting a lot of the music off the album on the new tour. So I'm hoping, definitely, I'm sure that Faz Gostoso will be a song that will be included on the set list. So I definitely love this song. I Don't Search, I Find is the next song.
Finally, enough love.
Which is giving me, when you listen to it, it's very nostalgic because it's giving me deeper and deeper vibes. Like, it took me back to that. It's got deeper and deeper, very, like, the spoken word, like Vogue. It takes me back to the erotica album days. So this song is very nostalgic in that way. So it's got that 90s vibe a la the erotica era. So that's why I'm like, I Don't Search, I Find. I don't know what it means, but the title, but just having that, just taking me back, giving me back that nostalgia of that track. I loved it. Here's another standout track that I love, with not only the experimentation of the production, but the way she was singing on it as well. Looking for Mercy.
Every night before I close my eyes, I say a little prayer that you'll have mercy on me. Please, dear God, to live inside the divine, not like I want to die. Teach me to forgive myself, outlive this. Is it really love if it hurts? Is it really pain if it's inside? On the outside I'm strong. Hold my hand, please sympathize. Heart I'm not trying to forgive. I'm not trying to live. Please don't criticize. Yeah. Please, please sympathize. Yeah. Somebody to teach me to love. Somebody to help me rise above. I need to survive. I'm looking for mercy, looking for mercy. I'm looking for love.
I just love this freaking song. It's just so intense. It's so dark. It's just sad. It's somber. It's just beautiful. I just love it. But Donna, you're about to bring me to tears, bitch, because I just love this freaking song so much. But and last but not least, we already know. I'm serious. I was about to start crying listening to that damn song. We already know this song from Emma Gonzalez in the opening from the school shooting in Ferguson. And her using that, and this song is basically about rising above and basically just, we need to rise above it all. Like, no matter how dark the times are, which is a time, we are definitely in a dark time based on the clown in the fucking White House that we have. I can't stand this bitch. But anyway, what we're going through right now, it's just, I have to say, like, this ending it with I Rise, it just gives that vibe and feeling of hope. And I think that's what we need in this world right now. I'm really looking forward to this Madam X tour. I definitely need to be in that room and just be amongst people and see this tour and be a part of it and, like, see what amazingness she's going to come up with this. I have to admit, I was wrong in the beginning. Like, when I said I didn't get what she was doing, and then just, like, listening to this album, like, numerous times, now it's like, okay, it's not something you're going to get upon first listen. Or maybe some of you are good in that way, where you can listen to an album and appreciate for what it is right out the gate. But sometimes with people, like, I've been a Madonna fan for a long time, since I was a kid in the 90s when I was able to buy a Madonna album, and that was Bedtime Stories. That was the first album I was able to afford with my own money. So, like, my allowance money. So seeing that progression and being a fan of Madonna for that long, and actually going to her tours and seeing the Confessions tour and all this other stuff, and then hearing this record, it's just like it's okay to not like everything that somebody does. And we have that problem where people think, well, if you don't like something, then that's it. Or if you don't like something, you're a hater. No, we have a right to like and dislike stuff. So overall, I love this album. I think it's great. I'll give it an A-. So anyway, click like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching this episode. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching, and give me your opinions and your comments on this. Let me know what you thought of the Madam X album. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your favorite songs? What were the songs that you didn't like? What do you want to see from the upcoming tour? Just let me know what's the take. Like I said, click like, subscribe, tell your friends, share this video, do all that good stuff. Love you all for watching. Ciao, darlings.